right, EU. The EU, second best region in the world.
I want to do this.
I want to do this again. EU's first game is going to be on the 18th. No, we have a lot more games for this one. So for like, if you guys see like EU and NA, we'll just do like a week 1 NA or EU power rankings for Korea and LPL. We might put the teams in there. It just depends on how I kind of title the videos. But here's all the games for the EU scene. The first day, week 1, you have Fnatic versus SK Gaming, XL Esports versus Splice, Vitality versus Schalke, who we had close in the running for playoffs, Rogue versus Misfits, and Orgien versus G2. So, all the memes about when does Orgien play, they come back. Origin play the very last game. People are going to be, the memes are going to be amazing. All right, so predictions for EU's first week.
What can you give me their first?
First game is Fnatic versus SK Gaming. El Clasico's back, dude.
Yeah, but in just the worst version, honestly. This is just like...
This is not Kassadin backdoor Olaf stopping you. It's completely different.
This is like,
This
honestly.
is like Fnatic wins probably in 25 minutes. Maybe worse. You have... You have Broxa basically... Broxa could probably solo carry the whole game by himself.
I don't... Like, I like, again, Crown Shot and Selfmade. I think they have a lot of potential. That's pretty much it. This team is probably number 10, the worst team in the league, and I put Fnatic at number 1. I mean, like, Nemesis, obviously...
Reckless and Hillsing will completely murder the whole team.
Nemesis is a big question mark, but Reckless and Hillsing outclass Crown Shot and Dreams by far.
And then Broxa is better than probably Selfmade.
He is. And then Whippo is obviously... Whirlub's not really
incredible. Been performing for, like, ages at this point.
Yeah. So I think that all around the map, even if Nemesis somehow manages not to be a good player... This team still just gets absolutely demolished in this, and I don't think it's
Fnatic come in, and they're like, we don't care about the first week. They are. Fnatic have to come in being good because they're obviously the second-place team last year. So they're not going to come in trolling. That would be disrespectful to their fans. They do not troll. And even when they troll, they still win, which is astonishing. So Fnatic win, 1-1.
I think even though this is a best of one, I still think that Fnatic's going to win 2-0.
And I'm going to place a spicier bet. And... Do you want to give, like, an average time?
No. I don't want to bet that much, no.
It's so one-sided, though.
I don't care. I don't know enough about the meta.
He has no balls.
I want to see the meta play out before
XL Esports versus Splice.
Again, I think that XL Esports has some strengths inside of what's it called?
Exile, Cassing, and Expect.
Yeah, I think there's some strengths, and if XL pops off, I could see this as a maybe. For the most part, they're outclassed again. Vizichachi in the top lane, Xerxes in the jungle. Humanoid is a big question mark at another point. But Kabe and Norscaron, I think this is going to be one of the better bot lanes in the league. Like, in reality, I don't really see this going... these are one-sided matches. Who made the schedule? This is not a fun first match.
Hey, you have El Clasico for his game.
I don't care.
It's going to bring some nostalgia.
Are you going to say that another time today? I don't like that. But for the most part, Norscaron...
Splice wins easy. I'm saying Splice win in like 20 minutes probably.
I don't want to do a time.
There's no... I mean, Vizichachi and Xerxes have played like kind of slow, so maybe this might be the longest game of the day, I'll say. But I still think Splice win, just based off players alone right now. And then you have the teams that we debated about for a while. Vitality versus Schalke. So he was on the Schalke hype train. You guys saw the part. He's on the Schalke hype train. I'm a little bit... I'm like the conductor. Choo choo.
Okay, so we already know who's going to choose who.
I think Vitality's going to win.
I think Schalke's going to win, actually. I think that Schalke, obviously... I think Kabashard's a better player than Odo Omni. I do agree with that. But I kind of gave my reasons behind it. I think that Attila versus Jack Troll, Upside, Ignar are by far and away outclassing them. I know I love Attila, but I think Jack Troll's kind of a weakness, and Ignar and Upside...
I'll give him that. I think the back end of Attila and Jack Troll, it's mostly Attila pulling this weight.
And then Mowgli, I think he's a good, but again, one of the big, clear, defined strengths of this team was the guiding hand that kind of Gillies brought to when he joined the team. And the team player that doesn't speak English is not going to bring that.
Not right. Not
I'm going to give honestly, Memento at this point is going to perform better because he's going to be able to kind of conversate with his team. And I think he's really mechanically insane.
But then you have Abadaga versus Jizuke.
That's a big question mark. I mean,
Abadaga's only competition in TCL was GBM.
Abadaga is big. He's a good player, but
Jizuke performing in his first year against world class talent.
So. Yeah, I think these teams could go either way. But for the most part, I'm gonna say Schalke just based off the fact that I think.
You want to say Schalke too?
Yeah, I mean you do, but I know like.
So it makes sense to put Schalke, but you can't discredit like Vitality having those 4 players who have the synergy already. They only have one missing piece. Schalke have 4 new pieces to their team.
I'll give credit where credit is due. Like synergy is going to play a big role in this kind of
I
series.
do not think Schalke is going to fall over. I don't think Schalke is going to fall for the same tricks that Vitality can pull off. Like, Vitality is pretty much all brain and no brawn. They just only fight. Now, can Schalke be competent enough to not fall for that?
For the most part,
are they going to get trapped in this clown fiesta style?
We saw Memento's ability to kind of play around the map. Against Vitality, they never tricked Memento. Memento is 100% going to be able to play against this. I think that Upset Ignar, obviously, are completely capable of taking on Attila Jacktroll. I think Attila's a good player. I think Jacktroll's still a decent player, but for the most part, outclassed in both roles.
All right, so you basically... I'm going to say Vitality win. He's saying Schalke wins.
Again.
Rogue versus Misfits. Roguecat 2.0 versus the Super Team.
I'm not too impressed again. I think that just based purely off their players, again, I would give the edge 100% to Misfits. I mean, Hansama versus EQ, that's going to be fun.
Like, is that even fair at that point?
Gorilla versus...
I don't think YouTube allows
Yeah, there we go. That's a good word. Gorilla versus Wadid, not close. I mean...
Not close?
No.
What do you mean not close? Gorilla...
I don't really need... If you don't know these players... Like, for the most part, Gorilla's strength is shot calling and aggression. I mean, shot calling and...
I don't think... Even when Fevman was not even good, he was still way better than Senkux by so many margins. It's not even funny.
I think we're overestimating how bad Senkux was. He wasn't great, but...
His supportive mid lane style is cool, but when you're playing a supportive style, you need to have better, good players to support that with.
So what I want to point out is what I do think is going to be coming from the top half of Rogue is what's going to be a little bit interesting, because Kikis is kind of he's kind of the driving point for most of these teams. He's the one that kind of gives them strength, like essentially a sense of direction. And if they do end up pulling off some of these wins, it's going to come off the back of him a problem.
See, that's the problem. I think Kikis has the same effect that Shook brings. It's going to be the Kikis effect one day. He comes in, he does really well for a little bit, and then at one point they crash. He's done that many teams.
How many times has he crashed?
Unicorns of Love, he did it for Fnatic, he did it for G2, eventually they crashed, eventually he did it for Vitality, we seen that.
They didn't crash with him.
He performed really bad at a certain point.
Well, I mean, at Worlds.
Yeah, I think Kikis brings the same... Kikis is better than Shook, but I think what Kikis offers to a team is almost the same thing as Shook does. He comes in, he kind of fills in this little band-aid situation, and then gets exposed, and then people replace him.
You know what? He doesn't get exposed more so as, and honestly, he's not mechanically gifted, and the team around him is usually not mechanically gifted either. I think his best team was probably towards, the beginning of the Unicorns of Love when he had Power of Evil, but then again, they were just weak around the map. Even Kikis himself.
Vardax was god-awful.
It's just I'm trying to think of a situation.
Well, he won his only title on G2 playing a different role.
Yeah, so for the most part, I think he's been pretty decent on a lot of his teams. G2 never fell apart with him. A lot of these teams never fell apart with him, but again, I
just think he brings this level of, what's that word? What's that word? Structure. He brings a level of structure to a team, but I think I just what I've seen from him all these many years, it just that gets exposed after a while.
I don't see stability being exposed. I disagree with that.
Temporary stability.
No, he doesn't bring temporary stability. He gives them a sense of direction, and if a team is not, essentially, he turns around a team's mental attitude. He's a good player.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. He's a happy person. That can really change some people's mentality playing the game.
Yeah, but for the most part, I think that Kikis, what he brings is a sense of direction, and he's been on these weaker teams, and though it does work out. These players playing with kind of a high, they know what they're supposed to do now. Again, he's a weak mechanically weak player. His team around him is mechanically weak.
It's probably the worst he's ever had.
Probably. Prophet is a solid top laner who's gonna feed not too often.
If we could do power rankings for top laners in EU, Prophet would probably be 6th, 7th, maybe
6th, 7th, or 8th. He's gonna be around there.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. No,
Kikis has usually always had a strong top laner to go with.
But Prophet's weak. But then again, they're gonna make most of these moves around the top side, and then if they do, I think that this team could pull off some crazy wins.
Is Prophet good enough to beat Soaz?
No, that's what I'm saying. Oh, you know what? I wouldn't even disagree with that. I don't think he's that much far behind Soaz, to be honest.
As it stands right now, Soaz probably is going to beat him.
Yeah, I'll give it to them. But for the most part, I think that Misfits smashes this, but Again,
this is one of those games where Misfits comes in as their opening game and they just crush.
If it does end up going Rogue's way, it's gonna come from the top side.
I wouldn't be here. I'll say this. I wouldn't be surprised if Rogue beats Misfits day one.
I mean, some of these players, again, Gola has to gel together with a lot of these players.
I wouldn't be surprised if Misfits. I wouldn't be surprised if Rogue beats them, but I'm still gonna say safely Misfits win. And last game, when Origin's playing, Origin versus G2.
Again, I think that G2. I mean, Origin. This is going to be their defining of what kind of team.
This is a big opening day for these teams.
Yeah.
Perse's first day playing ADC. Caps' first day playing mid with the rival of Fnatic G2.
I'm going to put this out there. This is the one person in the league that I think Caps doesn't absolutely stomp in Nuke Duck.
This is the match of the week right here.
Yeah, I think that again, Nuke Duck actually played better than Caps at specific times in this last year. Like, I think this is gonna be a really fun matchup.
Very niche specific scenarios though.
Well, no. It's just at the beginning of the very beginning of last season, I think that Nuke Duck was the better player, and Caps obviously just came online. It was the better player by the end of the year, just throughout the rest of it. But Nuke Duck is completely capable of holding his own against Caps, which is really exciting. Cold and Yankos. I mean, I think the Yankos has a slight edge, but then again, I mean, Cold is not a bad player whatsoever. Wonder. I mean, Wonder's just too good.
It's relatively. It's like second best top. It's like third or fourth best top laner versus like number one. Yeah. I don't think he'll get stomped.
I think
because Alphari did beat Wonder when Misfits and G2 did last face each other. So it's not. I wouldn't be surprised if Wonder lost to him, but Wonder's still the better player.
Wonder is pretty substantially better than him. I think it has to be on a bad day for him to lose to Alphari, and I think that Sheriff Mithy.
Patrick.
What?
I think it's Patrick now. Remember?
Oh, I don't care. That was weird. I don't care about that.
You can call Mithy SpongeBob.
But for the most part, Mickey X and Perks, I mean, that's really not proven.
See, that's the problem. This is a weird match of the week because they have G2 have a strong top side, Origin have a strong top side kind of too.
Yep.
It's going to be all the back end of this is Perks' opening day. He might have some jitters going in. It wouldn't be surprising if G2 lost.
I mean, not really too surprising. What I'm gonna say is this game is kind of to define how this G2 season is gonna turn out because it's gonna show how good Perks is.
And then it's also gonna show where Origin goes at the end of the year. Are they gonna be based around veteran shot calling with trying to build up Sheriff, or is G2 just gonna fall with Perks as bot laner? Who are you saying for Origin and G2?
I'm gonna give a pretty large edge to G2 just purely based off of the solo laners. I think they win in pretty much. Both
even
Wonder,
Mickey X is kind of
Wonder and Yankos, and I think that Mithy obviously is mechanically weaker than and pretty much less in terms of just not macro sense. He's not as smart as Mickey X is at this point. But again, I think the big question mark is going to come off of this bot lane. I mean, I don't know how good Perks is. If they lose, it's going to be probably on Perks' back and Yankos because Yankos is inconsistent.
I want to see how Perks does when he's getting ganked in bot lane.
Yeah,
like how the pressure of like, oh my goodness, this jungler's constantly coming back. Because like in mid you have champions that can escape constantly. You don't get that kind of what's the word benefit that you do with AD carry. So yeah, So I'm gonna say, man, I don't want to say this, but I have just a stark feeling Origin.
No feelings. No feelings. We talked about this. No
why?
feeling because that's not logic. We got to do it by actual. Reasons.
I think
it has to be. Reasons.
Perks won't be carrying this team right on this week one. I'm saying G2 win. Hashtag G2 Army.
Yeah. For the most part, I want to go back to my the reason why I said Schalke because I didn't get to really 100% finish that is because I think that Odoamne is just the reason as to why I think this team has a better sense of direction than who are they playing? They're playing
Vitality.
Vitality is because of the fact that Odoamne is probably more veteran than pretty much everybody else in this on these teams besides maybe Ignar. And then on top of the fact that he was on some of the best shot calling teams in EU for entire 3 seasons maybe.
Splits. Yeah.
Seasons I would say. 2 seasons maybe. Sorry, not 3. But yeah, again, I think that a lot of veteran shot calling is kind of give this team direction, but I don't know how good Odoamne is at shot calling, but again, if he is as good as I think he is, which I don't know, again, I don't know. I think he gave a sense of direction to Splice, which kind of fell off towards the end of the split. Then I think this team is probably going to 100% get the edge on Vitality just based off of that because I don't see a very well-defined shot caller on Team Vitality
But
as it stands.
like this week going in for Vitality, you have to just rely on your solo laners.
You have to rely pretty.
Cabalshard, Jizuke, and Attila are gonna have to carry. Now, if Jizuke couldn't carry at certain points last year, then Attila and Jacktroll did. I would say more or less it was Attila doing it.
So that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's our week 1 EU Power Rankings. I'm saying G2 for the last one. You're saying G2 as well, right?
Yep. So we are really only.
The only difference one is Schalke and Vitality. So you're gonna be buying me foot at the end of the split.
I bet. So we'll see you guys later. That's pretty much it.
I gotta go home for work tomorrow because I'm a big strong man.
Yes.